Good day everyone. We're now on our second video presentation for our subject, fluid machinery or fluid machineries. So for today, our topic would be about uh, piping. So in this case, we'll be having general discussions about pipes and then tubes, their corresponding differences, what a piping system is all about, and then the different kinds of piping components. Then lastly, we'll be having discussions about the color coding of pipes. But before anything else, I will be flashing to you certain pictures of the different plants that could be located on industries that could be located within Bataan or from other nearby provinces. So kung familiar kayo sa picture at taga Maribeles kayo, we have the so-called liquid gas plant premises. So a liquid gas plant is considered to be a storage facility used for the storing of commercial gases such as LPG. So shown on the picture is the Petron Batan Refinery plant premises. So ito yung pinaka-first and foremost dream ng mga aspiring mechanical engineers to be actually a part of the Petron Batan Refinery. However, dati yon. So iba na ngayon, no? With the ongoing pandemic, na-hamper yung kanilang operations. So on and off ang kanilang operations. So besides Petron Batayan Refinery, we could locate the so-called SMC coal-fired power plant premises. So ang coal-fired power plant na to, siya ay nagsusupply mainly ng power requirements ng Petron Batayan Refinery. Then kung merong excess or surplus electricity, binibenta na lamang to sa labas. Another one, we have the so-called PRII. So PRII stands for Philippine Resins Industries Incorporated. So PRII is a Japanese-owned company that is producing plastic pellets in the form of PVC. So ang PVC, hindi siya yung pipe o yung tubo, no? Ang PVC is a certain type of plastic material termed as polyvinyl chloride type of material. So again, sa Maribeles, meron tayong nakikita Jetty Petroleum, Maribeles Bulk Terminal premises. So kung meron tayong gas storage facility, meron din tayong liquefied o liquid fuel storage facility na makikita rin natin sa Maribeles. So from the nearby province of Zambales, so in Olongapo, we could locate Philippine Coastal Storage and Pipeline Corporation. So, yung Philippine Coastal na to is somewhat similar do sa Jetty Petroleum. Yung nga lang, magkaiba lang sila ng location. So, ang Philippine Coastal actually supplies the fuel requirements of all the companies that could be located in Subic as well as in Clark Angeles. So another one, you have PNOC or PNOC. So ito yung nag-administer ng mga water and then liquid services papunta doon sa Petropark or Petrochemical Industrial Park. Kung saan makikita natin yung PRI, yung PPI, as well as yung NPCC. Then we also have PTT, Philippine Trading Services Corporation, and then plant premises. So again, somewhat similar to sa Philippine Coastal and then doon sa Jetty Petroleum. So this is a fuel storage depot facility that's located within Subic. So kung papasin natin, no, in all the pictures that was shown or illustrated, we could locate the presence of pipes. So bakit ba meron tayong presence ng pipes? So yung pipe is considered to be a pressurized vessel that is used to convey fluids, or normally in the form of liquids. So ang setup is, for as long as there is the presence of liquids or fluids, there is a need for the use of a pipe. So yun din ang reason kung bakit karamihan sa mga industry, ang pipe is considered to be an indispensable kind of component within the plant industry. So what is a pipe? So a pipe is considered to be a form of pressure vessel. So bakit natin kino-consider form of pressure vessel yung tinutukoy natin pipe? So sa loob ng pipe, meron tayong kino-convey o tinatransmit o tinatransport na fluid. So for that fluid to be transported or to be conveyed, kinakailangan natin ng prime mover. So yung prime mover na yon in the form of pumps. So ang pump is a device or equipment that is used to generate pressure. So along the way, para ma-move natin yung media, yung medium, o yung liquid, kinakailangan i-pressurize natin yan para eventually gumalaw. So therefore, a pipe is considered to be a form of pressure vessel. So a pipe is considered to be a pressure-tight cylinder that is used in conveying water, gas, oil, or other fluids. So yun again, yung reason kung bakit makikita natin yung pipe sa lahat ng klase ng industry. Kasi in all kinds of industry, we could not only locate water, but also all kinds of other kinds of liquid or fluid materials. Ayan. So, question is there a difference between a pipe and then that of a tube? So, ano ba more or less yung difference between a pipe and then that of a tube? So, kung na-experience nyo before, pag inutusan kayo, mamili ka ng tubo, sasabihin, pero eventually, ang bibigay sa is pipe. So, ano ba yung difference between a pipe and then that of a tube? So, this versus this one. So, yung picture natin at the left side is what we call a tube. Then, yung picture natin at the right side is what we call a pipe. So, while both can be used to convey fluids, a tube is used mostly for instrumentation purposes. Ano yung reason? So, instrumentation purposes. So, pipelines, especially those that are used in the industry. So, pag sinabi natin industry, dalawang klaseng industry yan. We're referring to the power and the industrial industry are normally subjected to immense pressures. As such, kung gagamit tayo ng tube, a tube will not be able to withstand such kind of pressure. So, ayan, naka-highlight yung tinutukoy natin tube. So, why not be able to tolerate such kind of pressure? So, this is due mainly to the kind of material that the tube is made from. So, pag sinabi natin tubes, tubes are normally made from stainless steel, but could also be made from copper, bronze, and other materials possessing one kind of characteristic. So, ano bang characteristic to? So, since nakita natin yung stainless steel, so, it resists possible corrosion. So, resistance from corrosion. Ayan. So, kung papasin natin, we have here a pipe. Saan, kung titignan natin from the outside, shiny pa siya. It actually looks new without any presence of rust formation. However, taking a look from the inside shows the presence of rust formation. Another reason why tubes are used instead of pipes in instrumentation lines is line sizing o sizing ng pinaka-line itself. Pipes normally have sizes ranging from 1/2 inches and above. Ito yan. So, may mga instances na yung pipes could be able to accommodate people or groups of persons inside. While tubes, on the other hand, are available only in sizes ranging from 1/2 inches and below. So, yun yung mag-explain yung reason kung bakit kapag kinumpara natin yung tube versus that of the pipes, sobrang liit na tinutukoy natin tubes. So, with instrumentation devices normally being small, their means of connection allows them to only use conduits of small sizes. So, pag sinabi natin conduits, passageway to. So, gumagamit lamang daw ng passageway of small sizes, yung tinutukoy natin instrumentation devices. devices. So, ito nga tinutukoy natin, which are the so-called tubes. Do they have the same sizing? So, sabihin, pag namili ka ba ng 1/2 inch na pipe sa 1/2 inch na tube, pares lang bang bibili sa'yo? So, as in, yun nga, as in, does a 1/2 inch pipe and then 1/2 inch tube differ? Pipes are measured according to their inside diameter, while tubes are measured according to their outside diameter. So, technically speaking, kung bibili kayo ng 1/2 inch diameter na pipe sa 1/2 inch diameter na tube, mas malaki yung corresponding size ng pinaka-pipe itself, bearing the same number. So, as shown by the picture. So, ang pipe, meron din siya iba-ibang corresponding thickness. So, samantalang sa tube naman, it has a standard thickness. So, are there any more differences between a pipe and then that of a tube? So, another difference between a pipe and then that of a tube is in the manner they are actually being connected. Pipes can be connected by means of threads. So, papasin, naka-highlight siya kasi ang pipes could not only be connected by threads but also by other means. So, later on, magkaroon tayong discussion doon. Now, tubes does not have any kind of thread. So, part of the reason kung bakit di po pwedeng thread yung tube is mainly because of its corresponding thickness. So, manipis lamang yung tube. So, meaning, kung iti-thread pa natin yung corresponding tube, it would cause some sort of structural damage. So, eventually, pag kinonect natin yung tubes by means of a threaded connection, eventually, masisira natin siya. Pipes and then tubes do use fittings as a means of connection. So, pares daw sila gumagamit ng fittings. However, ang difference between the two. So, threaded fittings and then tube fittings or tube connectors. So, ano yung tinutukoy natin tube fittings? Connection of the tube within the tube fitting or connector is made possible by the compressive effect of the internal components within the tube's end. So, kung titignan natin to, yung mga components na to, once they are actually pieced together, nagkakaroon tayo ng compressive effect dito sa corresponding part na to, thereby providing a fixed, tightly fixed tube connection. Complex piping. Ano naman yung tinutukoy natin complex piping? A scenario wherein a number of pipes are laid are either called pipelines or what we call piping system. So, ano yung difference between a pipeline and then that of a piping system? So, this is what we call a pipeline. So, titignan natin yung corresponding configuration from the word used. So, meron tayong line. So, pag sinabi natin pipeline, it is considered to be a line of piping. Samantalang pag sinabi naman natin piping system, meron tayong multiple branching out of piping. So, what is a pipeline? A pipeline is a series of interconnected pipes covering vast, so pag sinabi natin vast, malawak, usually remote areas, which usually translates into savings as compared to other means of transportation systems such as conveyor systems, trucks, etc. So, in this case, walang tayong problemahin sa train kasi nga nakalatag na yung tinutukoy natin piping. So, kinakailangan natin dito ng prime mover for the medium or media inside to be moved from one location into another. So, normally, pag sinabi natin pipeline, it has a single suction and then a single discharge side. So, kung titignan natin configuration kanina, no? Balikan natin. Hindi na natin mabalikan. So, yun yung mga classic instances kung saan gumagamit tayo ng pipelines. So, piping system naman tayo. Ito. So, kung titignan yan, benefit ng tinutukoy natin piping system is that it could be used to create a piping system with limitations in space. A much more complex piping system of pipes with individual pipelines having branches of pipes connected to various machines, equipments, instruments, and alike. Such systems actually serves as a conduit. So again, pag sinabi natin conduit, we're referring to passageway where fluids, so either liquids or gases, are conveyed from one location into another. Pipelines or piping systems, however, are not limited to conveying fluids, but that they could also convey solids. So solids in combination with liquids or gases. So solids that are mixed with liquid, normally water, whose prime mover is a pump, where the solution is dried or used as is. So in this case, kung may halong solid, yung tinutukoy natin liquid, ang tawag natin doon is what we call as slurry. So yung nagbibigay ng motion o nagbibigay ng pressure is yung tinutukoy natin pa para ma-move natin yung tinutukoy natin slurry or solid liquid combination. So in this case, since may halos siyang liquid, dalawa yung possible outcomes. Either i-dry natin yung solid ng liquid para magamit or gagamitin natin siya as is. Now, solids that are suspended upon gases, normally air, whose prime mover is a fan or blower. So, ang tawag naman natin doon is what we call a colloidal solution. So, what are the different applications or categories of use of piping systems? So, tingnan natin yung iba't ibang klaseng application. Piping systems have a wide array of applications that for as long as there is the presence of fluid or conveying of fluids, which could be found in the industrial, power, and even in our very own homes or domestic fields. So gumagamit tayo ng piping systems to be used in irrigation systems. So it actually saves cost in terms of manpower. So automatic naman siya. So sa mga modernized farming countries such as Israel, ito yung ginagamit nilang system. So for the irrigation of farms, and then for the irrigation of golf courses. Then gumagamit tayo ng piping as in firefighting system. So notice na meron tayong red color. So bigyan ka idea, pagka meron tayong pipe or piping system and then colored red, ibig sabihin to, yung contents na to are not actually being consumed by people or by humans. Rather, ginagamit to only for firefighting systems or for the suppression of any breakout of fire. So, yung picture natin sa taas is an example of an automatic fire sprinkler system. So, merong kung titignan yung configuration, meron siyang fuselage that could be located at the ceiling. So, once na magkaroon tayo ng fire, merong akit na smoke. So, once na smoke na yon reaches the top, masasend siya ng tinutukoy nating fuselage. Mag-break yun. Pag nag-break yun, magbibigay siya ng alarm o signal doon sa tinutukoy natin pumping system. So, automatically, magpapump na siya ngayon ng water papunta doon sa sprinkler systems natin. So, yung red na to is what we call a fire hydrant system, which is used to suppress fire. So, titignan nyo, meron tayo dito hospital. So, papasil sa mga modern hospital nowadays, gumagamit na lang tayo ng piping. Wala tayo makikita ng individual oxygen tanks as in compressed air systems for medical purposes. So magtatap na lang tayo ng tap door para maka-access tayo sa clinical oxygen. As shown in the picture is the distribution of medical oxygen to individual rooms. So another one is that yung piping could be used in compressed air systems as in industrial purposes to be used in the actuation of pneumatic tools. So pag sinabi natin pneumatic tools, these are kinds of tools that are driven by compressed air. So yun ang ibig sabihin ng pneumatic. So titignan natin yung lines natin dito, no? Magagaling yung lining natin dito, pipelines natin dito, not from the base or not from the ground, rather from the top. Kasi nga, lumalabas, kung yung line natin magagaling sa ilalim, magiging source pa siya for any tripping. So, magiging tripping hazard pa siya. So, in that case, lumalabas, yung source natin dito, ng compressed air, magagaling siya from atop or from above. So, ayan. With pressurized air as the working or conveyed fluid. So, makikita naman natin sa corresponding configuration, meron tayo tinatawag na ducting system. As in HVAC systems, So HVAC stands for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems. So in this case, kung magsusupply tayo ng ventilation o ng air, gumagamit tayo ng piping system or ducting system. Kung gumagamit naman tayo ng heated air, gumagamit din tayo ng ducting system. And then pag gumagamit tayo ng condition or cold air, gumagamit pa rin tayo ng ducting or piping system. Where air ducts are properly insulated to maximize the cooling effect of conditioned air. So papansin nyo, gumagamit tayo dito na tinutukoy nating insulation to not to prevent heat losses, rather to minimize yung tinutukoy nating heat losses. So ang tanong, no, bakit nga ba tayo nagkakaroon ng heat losses? So yung heat losses kasi is what we call heat that is actually in the move. So nagkakaroon tayong heat losses because of the temperature difference. So kung susundin natin yung concept ng heat transfer, heat naturally transfers from a region of high temperature to a region of lower temperature. So meaning, kung meron tayong two temperature regions, isang high sa isang cold, automatic na yun, magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag natin heat transfer. So for as long as mataas yung discrepancy in difference between the high sa cold temperature, mataas yung rate of heat transfer. Now, lumalabas, kung mababa naman yung temperature from the outside to the inside, lumalabas, mababa lamang yung tinutukoy natin heat losses. So in this case, gumagamit tayo ng insulation not to prevent, rather to minimize yung tinutukoy natin heat losses. Another one, kung titignan picture natin, karamihan namang insulation is actually colored silver. Bakit silver? Why not black, red, or any other color? So, unique yung color ng silver in the sense na nire-radiate niya o nagbabounce off lamang dito yung pinaka-heat. So, yun din yung reason kung bakit sa mga tinted na sasakyan, before, ang kulay naman tinted na sasakyan was not black, rather silver. However, ang tendency nga, kung silver siya, nagbabounce off yung tinutukoy nating rays coming from the sun. So, technically, nakakasilaw. So, yun yung reason kung bakit pagdating sa mga tinted na mga sasakyan, pinagbawal na yung kulay ng silver. Pero, generally, or preferably, ginagamit natin yung silver color para ma-minimize natin yung transfer of, ma-minimize natin yung rate of transfer in order to minimize yung tinutukoy natin losses or to affect yung corresponding temperature from inside. So, isa pang use na tinutukoy nating piping systems is that they could be used in refrigeration systems. So, gaya sinabi ko sa inyo, for as long as there is a presence of fluids, be it liquid or gases, kinakailangan na tayong gamitin piping system or ducting system. So, as in water distribution systems, household and industrial. So, papansin nyo, ang kulay natin dito na water tanks as well as the pinaka-piping systems natin is colored white. So basically, this gives you an idea or knowledge that pagdating sa color coding ng pipes, kung tubig ang contents niya, ang kulay niya is actually colored white. So ginagamit din natin yung piping system as in fuel, oil, or distribution system. So kung familiar kayo sa Petron Bataan Refinery, saan nanggagaling yung pinaprocess niyang crude oil? So yung crude oil na yun, manggagaling by the so-called super tankers na manggagaling sa mga Middle East. So para ma-distribute siya na manggagaling sa mga tankers, kinakailangan ang distributions coming from the sea. So papansin o kinakailangan, meron tayo ditong docking facility making use of an extensive network of piping systems with crude oil coming from tankers. So another feature kung saan natin ginagamit yung piping system as in hazardous liquid distribution system. So kung papansin dito, pagka hazardous liquid application, yung kulay niya, so kulay yellow or in certain cases, kulay brown. Then notice na in this case, so since mayroon tayong iba't ibang klase ng liquids dito, kinakailangan properly accounted sila. So papansin meron dito tagging. So meron labeling. So in this case, we have nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, potassium hydroxide. So meron tayo dito ang presence of arrows So, yung presence ng arrow indicates the direction of the flow of the substance. So, another use is that yung piping system could also be used in great depth piping system. So, ano meron sa great depth piping system? So, water at great depths possesses immense pressure. So, meaning, kung maglalagay tayo ng isang klase ng material component dito, it should be able to tolerate or withstand yung tinutukoy natin high pressure. Kung saan yung pressure is an example, yung pipe is an example of a pressure vessel. So, what are the different means of the connection? What are the different means of connection for pipes? Pipes, depending upon a given situation, could be connected via or a combination of any of the following. First one, ito yung pinaka-most common, via the so-called threaded joints. Other one, via the so-called welded joints. So, gumagamit naman tayo ng welded joints, supposedly, meron tayong isang piping system na hindi naman titinagin for a long time. Then, you also have the so-called flange joints. Then, last one, you have the so-called expansion joints. So, tingnan natin yung difference between the four possible combinations. Threaded joints, ito yung pinaka-most common. Kailan tayo gumagamit ito? So, balikan natin kanina, no? So, ginagamit natin yung threaded connection depende do sa corresponding size ng pinaka-pipe itself. So, mamaya-maya, dadanan natin yon kung kailan tayo gumagamit na thread connection. Then, we also have the so-called welded joint connection, which is ito. Now, gumagamit tayo ng welded joint connection, supposedly, yung piping system natin, wala naman tayong gagawin masyado pa rin corresponding changes, repairs, or maintenance. So, the only way para magkaroon tayo dito na changes would be to destroy or to torch the piping system instead. Then, we also have the so-called flange joints. So, kailan tayo gumagamit ng flange joints? So, again, di-discuss ko na lang dito later on sa third discussion natin. Gumagamit tayo ng flange joints in cases na yung pipe size diameters natin medyo malaki. So, as evidence, yung pinaka-flange natin dito is characterized by the plate-like appearance. So, meron tayong bolts that are actually located along the circumferential portion. So, again, nakikita natin yung extensive use ng flange joints connection. Supposedly, meron tayong pipe size connection involving large pipe size diameters. Expansion joints. Siya. So, tingnan natin, no? So, from the word expansion means that there is movement. So, let's say, for example, yung pipe na yung pipe natin, magko-convey tayo ng tinatawag nating steam. So, steam is considered to be a high temperature substance. So, normally, pag sinabi natin pipes are normally made from metal. Metal, high temperature. So, ando yung tendency na magkaroon tayo ng expansion on the pipe or on the part of the pipes, no? So, in this case, kung gagalaw yung pipes natin, along with it, gagalaw din yung iba-iba natin possible components. So, in that case, para kung pipigilin natin yung movement na yun, galaw, pigil, ang tendency nun, magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating thermal stress. So, ano ba yung thermal stress? So, may encounter nyo rin yun sa tinutukoy natin, mechanics of deformable bodies. Ang thermal stress is a kind of stress that is brought about by changes in temperature. Tapos, nagkaroon lamang tayo ng thermal stress provided we have two factors. Ano yung dalawang factors na yun? First one, meron tayong changes in temperature. Second one, ito yung pinaka-critical part or critical portion, hindi niya ina-allow yung possible expansion. So, in that case, lumalabas, kung i-allow natin yung possible expansion na tinutukoy natin pipes or piping components, ibig sabihin nun, walang madidevelop na thermal stress. So again, pag sinabi natin stress, ang stress is actually disadvantageous or detrimental to any mechanical system. In the sense na pag sinabi natin stress, pag hindi niya na kaya, hindi niya na tolerate, eventually, it would cause to what we call failure. So again, gumagamit naman tayo ng expansion joints kung saan meron tayong kino-convey na high temperature substance or isang substance of varying temperatures. So another one is, are there tradesmen or any person who have extensive knowledge regarding piping? So meron. Pipe fitters are tradesmen whose task mainly revolves about pipes fittings as well as piping components or pipe components. Now, their work being tedious, so matrabaho siya, and very important, we have certain companies, certain countries that have certain courses catering to their field of specialization. So, yung Japan is a primary example of a country kung saan yung pipe fitter is particular course or a particular field. Sa Pilipinas kasi magkaroon ka lang ng experience, lumalabas, pwede ka na maging pipe fitter. So, more or less, parang bagang labor lang to pagdating sa Pilipinas. One of the tasks of a pipe fitter is to assemble or maintain an efficient piping system. So, ano yung mga trabaho niya? So, first one, familiarity with the pipe sizes. Pag sinabi natin NPS, it means na ito yung tinutukoy natin nominal pipe size. Okay? So, pag 5 feeder ka, makita mo pa lamang yung pipes natin, even at a far away distance, pero ka na sort of idea kung ano yung corresponding size niya. Then, in terms of piping system construction, kinakailangan meron siyang leveling ability in pipe laying. So, kinakailangan marunong gumamit, marunong siya mag-pipe cutting, marunong din siyang gumawa ng pipe thread or pipe threading, marunong siyang mag-perform ng different weld types at various positioning. So, pinaka-mahirap dito is yung overhead weld position. Yung wini-weld mo yung nasa taas, tapos ito yung nakahiga sa ilalim. Pipe connection, fabrication. Then, ability to read blueprints, o yung plano, knowledge in pipe installation, visual inspection of pipes. So, nagko-conduct din ng visual inspection ng pipes yung tinutukoy natin pipe fitter. So, notice na, kung papasin no, hindi lang pala pipes yung merong kulay, kundi pati uniform. So, again, yung color naman ng uniforms natin dito, suggests na merong ranking dito. So, normally, pag nakakita kayo ng individual, kung saan suot yung kanyang company uniform, tapos kulay white, ito yung tinatawag sila mga engineers. So, ability to extrude pipe under difficult circumstances. So, in this case, pagka pipe fitter ka, meron ka ability o meron ka knowledge or know-how to extricate or disassemble a pipe from a piping system under difficult circumstances or situations. What is meant by the color coding of pipes? Piping in color is prevalent or present in situations where there are numerous pipings that are held in check or in line with one another. So, para hindi mag-cause ng confusion with one another, especially in cases sa isang industry, meron tayong presence of multiple liquids or fluids, kinakailangan gumamit tayo ng isang tinutukoy natin color coding ng pipes. So, ito siya. So, makulay yung mundo. Wala tayo sa Encantadia, or sa Villamanda. Now, such coloration of pipes is more popularly known as the color coding of pipes. Ayan. So, aside from yung color or yung labeling, color coding, minsan may mga labeling, suggesting kung anong klase ito. As well as meron tayong presence ng arrowheads, suggesting yung possible direction. Such coloration is actually a system that uses a particular color to indicate a particular substance that the pipe or piping actually conveys. A given plant or industry may use its own set of color coding or may use a particular color coding depending upon a given country. So, may mga cases tayo kung saan sa Pilipinas, gumagamit tayo ng certain sets of colors. Pag napunta tayo sa ibang bansa naman na malabas, iba naman yung colors na ginagamit nila. So, more or less, yung color coding natin, inadapt lang natin sa mga Amerikano. So, kung meron tayong PSME, which stands for Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers, meron tayong counterpart sa US, yung tinutukoy nating ASME, or American Society of Mechanical Engineers. So, yung color coding natin, ginaya lang doon sa ASME code ng mga Amerikano. As in our case, we rely on the standards that could be seen or could be found at our very own PSME code or PME code, whose contents are actually based on its counterpart, the ASME code. So, as earlier mentioned. So, ano ba yung idea behind such color coordination? Bakit kailangan magbili tayo ng kulay? So, color coding of pipes is used to enable 1. Easy identification of the fluid being conveyed by the piping, especially in case na meron tayong multiple use of fluids or liquids. Another one is with line tracing enabled. So, if example, magkakanda kayo line tracing. Meron tayong multiple liquids kung saan dumadaloy siya sa multiple pipes. Kung let's say, for example, hindi dumadaloy yung steam, ititrace lang natin yung piping o pipeline kung saan meron siyang steam. Eventually, check na natin siya for any line problems such as leaking, clogging, no flow, etc. So, imagine kung meron tayong extensive network ng pipes within a piping system as well as yung color coding, one by one, kinakailangan pa natin siyang check. Third one, could prevent any accidents by not accidentally opening what is not meant to be open. So, let's say, for example, maghuhugas lang tayo ng kamay. So, instead of opening the water valve, or the valve for water, accidentally ang na-open natin is yung valve para naman sa steam. So, meron tayong isang certain case or certain scenario. So, dito gawang kwento muchero, no? So, lumalabas sa Petron Bataan Refinery, may time na nagmamadaling mo yung mga empleyado, more or less yung mga nagpo-provide ng labor sa Serbisyo Pilipino. So, nagmamadaling umuwi. So, accidentally, ang nabuksan niya, hindi pala water line, rather steam line. So, in that case, nagsuffer siya ng third-degree burns. So, fourth and last one is that establish easy connection between pipes wherein one pipe had been previously been isolated. So, example, ganito, may tinanggal tayong isang component sa isang piping system. Hindi natin siya naibalik at the soonest possible time. Dahil tumagal. So, nung ibabalik na siya, since meron na siyang color coding na malabas, may babalik natin siya to where it was actually being connected previously. So, pipe color coding based upon the PSMA code. So, 1984 edition, ito yung pinaka-first color coding, ang first version. So, ito na siya. However, nung nagkaroon tayo ng corresponding changes, so, pipe color coding based upon the PMME code, revised edition, so, ito na siya. So, lumalabas siya sa board exam. So, imagine kung kinakailangan mo sa ulduin yung bagong, yung bagong color coding, yung revised edition versus that of the old edition, napakadami na dapat mong intindihin or napakadami mong dapat i-memorize. So, ayan. So, this concludes our second video presentation. So, again, thank you for listening.